Hi, boys and girls, it's Miss Gallagher. This week we're going to be moving on to a different type of writing. We're going to be moving into informational writing. So what's going to happen is I'm going to read a story today, and then I'm going to model what you're going to work on this week for your writing assignments, okay? So the text that I'm going to read to you today is called The Harbor Seal Pup Grows Up. So as I'm reading the text, I'm going to be thinking about new information that I'm learning about in the story, and that's what I'm going to be writing for my writing assignment, okay? Now, you won't be doing any writing for this book, but you will be doing another writing assignment on Thursday about a tiger. So pay close attention to what I'm doing today so you know what to do on Thursday, okay? So the story is called A Harbor Seal Pup Grows Up. The harbor seal pup is 2 weeks old. Her name is Sydney. Sydney stays close to her mother. She drinks her mother's milk. Waves crash on the rocky beach. Harbor seal families lie in the warm sun. Sydney and her mother lie in the sun too. Sydney's mother gets hungry. She dives in the water to catch fish. The water is too cold for Sydney, so Sydney stays on the shore. The seal pup waits for her mother. She waits for 3 days. She is very hungry. So right now I'm thinking that I learned a new fact in the story today, so I could write that for my assignment after. People notice the seal pup. She is alone. Will her mother come back? The next day the pup is still alone. The people call for help. Sydney is rescued. Sydney is brought to a sea mammal center. A scientist named Peter is in charge. Peter takes care of young seals. He lifts the thin pup from her cage. Sydney is weak from hunger. Peter knows just what to do. He puts a tube in Sydney's mouth. Then Nicole pumps a drink into Sydney's stomach. The drink is like a mother seal's milk. Sydney is full. She is also very tired. She falls asleep. When Sydney wakes up, her eyes are bright. She looks around. Peter examines the pup. Her heartbeat is normal. So is her temperature. She is healthy. Sydney has a full set of teeth. That means she is at least 3 weeks old. Sydney is small for her age. Sydney gets her drink 3 times a day. She becomes stronger. Using her flippers, she scoots around. So that's another fact that I'm learning from the story. That could be something else that I write about today. A child's plastic pool becomes Sydney's playpen. She likes the water. She swims faster and faster. Nicole shows Sydney a fish. Sydney does not want it. Nicole does not give up. Day after day, she wiggles a fish in front of Sydney. Then, one day, the pup swallows it. Before long, Sydney wants to eat fish. She waits for her bucket of fish in the morning. The pup is gaining weight. She no longer needs her healthy drink. Sydney is 5 weeks old. She has a thick layer of fat. The fat will keep her warm in cold weather. Sydney is ready to be on her own. So again, another fact that I'm learning that I could be writing about today. Peter puts the pup in a carrying case. Other scientists take over. They carry Sydney onto a boat. Sydney is excited by the ocean's salty smell. She shakes the case. The boat heads towards an island. When they are almost there, the boat stops. It's time to say goodbye. A scientist tips the case. Good luck, little one, she says. Sydney slips into the water. She will find other seals. She will catch fish. Sydney will grow up in her ocean home. And that's the end of the story. So what I'm going to do now, friends, is I'm going to show you what you are going to be doing this week for your writing assignment. So as I said earlier, you will be listening to another story read by Miss Saloy about tigers, and then you will be taking that story and writing information that you learned from that story. Now, I'm going to show you how to do that assignment using this story, okay? So what helps me when I'm reading a story and I'm learning new information is I like to go back in my book. I know in my classroom, I tell my students that all the time, and I'm sure Miss Sullivan and Miss Lloyd do the same thing. Good readers always go back into the story. So I'm going to go back into the story, and for you at home, you could be watching the video over again to rewatch me read the story, okay? So I'm going to go back into my story and find at least 2 facts that I learned about seals today. So let's see. I found out, one of the facts that I found out today was that Sydney, or I should say seals. I know the book was about Sydney, but it was basically about seals. So I want to talk about seals. Let's see. You might have to go through it again. Okay, so I know that seals eat fish. So at first, Sydney wasn't sure if she wanted the fish, but I think she was just getting used to, being somewhere she wasn't used to because they had to take her from her home because she was sick and they had to make her feel better. So at first, she wasn't used to the fish, but then she finally started eating those fish. So that's one fact that I learned, that seals eat fish. And I also learned that she has fat on her, and that fat keeps her warm, okay? It keeps her warm from the cold water. So that's another fact that I learned. So those are my 2 facts. So I'm going to go ahead and write them up here on my anchor chart, and then I'm going to draw a picture to go along with it, okay? So go ahead and watch as I do this. You will be doing the same thing that I'm doing, just with a different text on Thursday, okay? So I have my lines here. So I'm going to write seals eat fish. So very simple sentence. It's a fact that I learned from the story. The second fact, like I said, is a little bit longer, so I should see 2 sentences, friends. They don't need to be very long sentences, but I want to see at least 2 sentences with 2 different types of information that you learned from your story. So my second sentence is going to say, they, because I already said I was talking about seals, they have fat on their bodies to keep them warm from the cold water. So that second sentence was a little bit longer than my first one. Again, I want to see 2 pieces of information. So my sentences say, seals eat fish. They have fat on their bodies to keep them warm from the cold water. So those were 2 facts that I learned from my text today. Now what I'm going to go ahead is I'm going to go ahead and draw my picture, okay? Now your picture should go along with what you're writing. So I shouldn't see a picture of a lion here. I shouldn't see a picture of a panda here. I should see a picture of a seal. And make sure it kind of goes along with one of your sentences. So I'm going to do seals eat fish. So I'm going to draw my seal. And again, I'm going to open up my story to help me draw my seal. Miss Gallagher is not the best artist, but I'm going to try my best, okay? So, draw my seal. It's probably going to be a little bit difficult for you guys to see, but at least now you know what we expect you to do for this work. You're going to be writing 2 pieces of information that you learned from your story, and then drawing a picture to go along with it. So let me finish up my picture. Yeah, my scales have whiskers. That's another fact that I learned that I didn't know, but I'm just seeing that from the pictures right here. So let's see, that is eye. And they're kind of a grayish, kind of looks like they have some spots on them as well. So I'm gonna make his spots. Some of them are black actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and color it in. I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see, but maybe once I color it in, it'll be better. Yeah, this will be better. And I know a lot of you have been drawing pictures and then sending pictures. That's great. I know it's easier to do it that way. Sometimes the tools on the classroom, on Google Classroom, make it a little bit difficult to draw the pictures. So you are more than welcome to draw a picture and then take a picture and send it to your teachers. And it makes it a little bit easier. Okay. So again, friends, this video today is just for you to watch. There's no assignment that you have to complete. It's just for you to watch and to show you what you're going to be doing on Thursday with the story that Miss Saloy is going to be reading for you. So here's my seal. You can see it a little bit better, I think, now. Right? See it a little bit better. And then I'm going to draw a fish because that was one of the facts that I learned, that seals eat fish. So I'm going to draw a little fish by the seal, like he's about to eat it. Okay. All right, friends, so that's what you're going to be working on this week for writing. So again, we're working on informational writing, and up here it says informational writing teaches the reader about a topic. So today, whoever reads my writing will learn things about seals. They'll learn that seals eat fish, and they will learn that seals use their fat to keep them warm from that cold water, okay? So again, if you want to rewatch the video on Thursday so you know what to do, remind yourself on what you need to do, you may go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I can't wait to see your writing and your pictures, guys. Have a good week.